Hey everyone, it's Alicia from AMBY, and I'm really excited to be here with the guys from Motion City Soundtrack. How you both doing?
I'm doing great.
Doing great. Thank you.
Yeah.
Our pleasure. We've actually been fans for such a long time, so the fact that we get to do this, we're really stoked about it, so just thank you very much.
Thank you.
So you're now touring, it's the 10th anniversary of Commit This to Memory, so how's this whole thing been going for you?
It's been great.
Yeah.
I think, personally, and I would assume the other guys agree, but it just, it's 10 years ago, like we used to play these songs all the time, and now we get to play the whole record, and I love playing this record. It just has a certain flow to it, a lot of energy, but then it takes a step back for a second, and like for me personally, it's like it's good pacing. Of course, you have to stay up the whole time and play. I get to take a break.
True.
True.
But the song that we do together, Josh and I, it's very special.
It's a moment.
Yeah, and I look forward to that moment each night.
It's been a lot of fun though.
Yeah.
I think people are enjoying kind of being whisked back to their younger days.
Yeah, and I've noticed too that it's crazy. I've seen teenagers now that were like 8 or something when this record came out, and they're like, "Oh, I had an older sibling that listened to the record, and I never really could go to shows or anything, but now I can." Or I've seen the opposite of that. People in their mid-20s or whatever, back when it came out, are now bringing their little kids to the shows. So there's a whole new, there's generations, coming out and checking it out for the first time, along with all the other people, that have been there.
Yeah, well, as you mentioned, the record was out 10 years ago, so when you actually reflect on the album, what are the first memories that come to mind from either creating it or dropping it?
Emotional turmoil. But I think that kind of goes with every record. But yeah, I was in like a not so special place.
It was the worst of times. It was the worst of times.
Yeah. So, well, yeah, I was kind of, let's just say, under the influence for like maybe half of the writing of this record, and then I got myself together a bit, got sobered up, and then and when I say written, I mean like we were writing songs as a band, and then I'd write lyrics, and then once I got sober, the band continued to write songs. We would write together, and then I would write more lyrics. So, I think for me this record's very special in that it's like this tug of war, this fight with myself. You can kind of tell like the angrier songs I think are the drunk songs, and the songs where you feel the person feels shame and guilt, those are the sober songs. And so that's kind of how, I don't know, it's a weird record to go back to, but it was very important for me because it was kind of the first time that I really took a step toward getting my life together. So that's what I think about when I think of this record.
Yeah, and this record means so much to so many people. As you know, there are lines probably for all your shows, especially the one in Toronto. There's a line right around the corner for people to get in. And it's been in my life since I was 10. So just, yeah, it's one of my absolute favorites. You guys are one of my favorite bands, though.
Thank you.
Anytime. So just going back to that, what are your favorite songs off the record at the moment to play?
I enjoy talking into microphones. Feel Like Rain is a lot of fun for me. It's because I feel like Alice in Chains or something with all these like, there's no. This is nerdy. No one cares.
No,
but
I wanna hear it.
in the chorus, there's no harmonies. I just feel like everything they do has harmony, like vocal harmonies the whole time, and that song reminds me of that because it's just like constant harmony, and then the chorus, there's no harmony. So it's like kind of reverse. We do it in the verse instead. But I don't know. That one's fun for me to play and sing, because I don't get to sing.
It's interesting that you think of Alice in Chains because I think of Kathleen Edwards.
It sounds nothing like Alice in Chains, but it just reminded me of like, it's kind of what they do. Constant harmony. Check it out.
I have checked it out.
Oh, okay. Next question.
Wait, I gotta pick a song.
Yeah, he has to pick one.
I like them all. No, I just had a kid, so I've been thinking about a song called "Time Turned Fragile," which this may sound weird, but in writing the lyrics for that song, I wrote the song about me from my dad's perspective without asking him. And then I presented the song to him, and I'm like, "What do you think of this? Does it sound about right?" And he's like, "Yeah, sounds like you nailed it, Jay." And I was like, "Okay, good." And then now having a kid, I'm thinking about that song from the dad's point of view instead of the kid's point of view. Anyway, so that song took on a whole new meaning for me.
Aw.
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 Cute.
And which song do you find the crowds are singing the loudest for this tour?
Probably Everything's All Right, because the beginning starts kind of quieter, and then they can sing, and we can actually really hear it.
And it's right at the beginning, and people still have energy instead of like having sat through an entire show and they're all tired and hot,
So when you're on the road together, what are some things that the band like to scout for, just for fun? Like, are you sightseers? Are you kind of restaurant hunters?
Yes and no.
Yes and no.
I don't know if you're who's the right. What do you scout for? What is Matt interested in?
Well, I wake up in my bunk, and I look at my phone to see how late in the afternoon it is, and then I hit Google, and I search coffee, and then I find it, and then I search comic book store sometimes.
Yeah.
That's what I've been doing lately.
Nice. You found anything cool?
Yeah, a few things.
What have you been
We don't need to go down. No. Let's
No?
not go down that road unless you want to.
Yeah. I'm like.
I just picked up The Wicked and Divine Volume 2, which is I haven't read it yet, but it's going to be great. And then a couple of single issues that I'd never heard of, a couple number ones, just to try them out. Get started, maybe get hooked, maybe not. Yeah, and we definitely like to treat ourselves to a nice meal. You know, I like to do one good meal a day, right after sound check.
I like to do 5 terrible meals, personally, but. Sorry.
He's not kidding.
It's tour life, right?
It is. To each his own. I
Yeah.
guess.
Well, what's something that you actually look for then, aside from the meals?
I usually start with massive, copious amounts of coffee, and that usually is where I find some sort of I spent like 2 or 3 hours on the internet in the morning, kind of just checking all the band social media sites, talking to people, answering things, and then begins the panic of the day. Just like warming up, making sure I remember everything, drinking lots of water. I know it sounds stupid, but it's like I have certain things I have to do in order to sing, and then once we're done playing the shows, then I'm quiet until the next day, unless there's an interview, then I'm talking. But and that's how I try to get through a tour without losing my voice.
That's not wood, right?
No, it's not. Not at all. Thank you.
Oh, was that you?
Yep, that was him.
Sorry.
It's like, where did that noise come from? Yeah, well, you mentioned going on your socials and responding to fans, and it's obvious that Motion City Soundtrack have had a very loyal fan base over the years. So, what's one of the weirdest things you've been gifted by a fan?
Gifted.
We got there are these little blank art toys, basically. I think they're called Monies.
Money.
They're like the shape of a monkey, kind of.
Oh,
But
okay.
they're just blank white, and you can paint them. Someone made really great versions of us on those one time. I still have mine. I actually have this little Beatles toy set, and I actually put myself in the Beatles.
Oh.
Isn't that neat?
Yes.
I'm a Beatle. But no, I thought that was really neat. I mean, because they put a lot of time into it. And we've gotten a lot of crazy stuff.
That was one of the cooler things. Like a lot of artwork, and a lot of people will like draw us. And I save everything, and I'm moving eventually, and I'm gonna actually in my little home studio, I'll probably like frame stuff and put it up. But I have a problem with throwing things away, or I don't do it. So I have like every piece of art everyone's ever given me. I can't think of anything weird or crazy. Like,
We once got a half-eaten pumpkin pie.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Did
No,
you
someone
finish
literally just
it?
ate. No, that went straight to the
That's what I was
trash.
about to say.
Yeah. I mean, I feel bad because they were sitting out front waiting all day when they had this pumpkin pie for us. Apparently they got hungry and just ate the pie. We're like, hey, well, you can have the rest. We're like, thank you. Appreciate it.
Well, on the music front, it's pretty exciting because the last time we spoke was around 2012, around the release of Go, and now you have just finished putting the finishing touches on your 6th record. So just tell us a little bit about that.
Well, we recorded it last year.
Yeah.
We did it in 2 weeks' time, which for us that was a new record.
Yeah.
Basically, we tracked it live as the basic tracks, bass, drums, guitars, all together, which we'd never done. We normally record separately. So that was a challenge, and it was really fun, and I'd like to do it again. So we actually kind of challenged ourselves and proved to ourselves that we can do it.
It was fun. I think like the biggest thing I noticed is like we were laughing and cracking up and having so much fun recording this. And whereas the last experience, not that it wasn't fun, but I don't even remember if we were all ever in the same room at the same time, because it was kind of pieced together. So it was like I feel like when we make records, we kind of bounce from one extreme to the next. We kind of just figure out like, oh, here's something we'd like to investigate and try. And so for this record, we definitely wanted to recreate the fun that we have on stage, but on a recording. So I would say, in my humble opinion, IMHO. It's like super. It's like I don't want to say the wrong word. I feel like I always pick the wrong words. I want to say it hurts to listen to, but I love that. You know, where it's like it's just like noisy and crazy, but it's also super polished, and then it's also sloppy, and it's like it's just everything that I love about music. And that's now I feel bad because I feel like that's not. I don't want to pick on any of our other records, but it's just that it is bonkers in my favorite way. Like, and I don't know. I'm just super excited about it.
No, we are as well. So that wraps everything up. I just want to say thank you so much for your time today. We're stoked for the show tonight. So just thanks.
Yes.
So.
Thank you.
Yep.
Thanks
you
so
so
much.
much. We appreciate
Remember,
it.
everyone, you can visit us at amusicblogger.com for exclusive interviews and features with your favorite bands. We'll see you next time.